Namaste everyone, my name is Russ Thompson, Recreation Cultural Specialist for Clark County Parks and Recreation. We appreciate you unwinding with us during this time. We hope that you and your families are staying safe. And today we're going to focus on some chair yoga poses. So what's good about this with chair yoga is a few things. Number one, chair yoga is good for all ability levels. So whether you are beginning, intermediate, or advanced practitioner, these poses I'm going to show you today are beneficial for many different things, whether it's balancing, stretching, and also strengthening as well. And what's great about yoga is it doesn't matter who you are, or what you are, or where you are, yoga means union or coming together. So we are coming together as a city doing our part to make sure we are safe. And why not, if you're at home watching this at home, why not practice yoga in a safe space? So what we're going to do again is a lot of the different things that I may be showing you today may be somewhat on the basic level, but in reality, in yoga we are essentially all beginners, because yoga means, because they call it a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect, because nothing is perfect. We're all human, and we're all trying to better our minds, bodies, and spirits, both on and off the yoga mat, or in this case, a yoga chair. So the first few things we're going to do first is we're going to focus a lot on our breathing, because in yoga, arguably the most important thing when it comes to your practice is the breath. So the first thing we're going to do is I just want everybody at home, you all at home, just to sigh the breath out like this. Good. And once you're done from there, we're going to take a nice deep inhale. We're going to count to 4. You're going to feel your breath expand across the chest for 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time, we're going to sigh the breath out. Good, like a lion's roar. So next what we're going to do here is we're going to focus on a little bit more and getting a little more in depth with our breath, but also our posture. So what's going to happen is, first things first with the posture is you want to make sure that you are sitting nice and even. Try to get your body as close to a 90-degree angle, just as I'm posed here. So when in doubt, when we're holding any poses, whether it's seated or standing or however you may be, you want joints lining on top of joints, whether that's knees lining up with ankles and hips, maybe shoulders lined up with wrists, depending on the situation. And what we want to do is when we're in a seated position, we want to make sure our sit bones, which are those bony things in your bottom, you want to make sure those are nice and even on your prop or your seat at home. And then you want to try to do is, if you want to lengthen the crown of your head up to the ceiling. So if you can kind of see, just for example's sake, as you can see, my spine right now is a little bit rounded here. But what we want to do is you want to do our best to lengthen the crown of your head up and then suck your belly button into your lower back. So this way we're activating our core and we're getting a nice straight spine. So when we're doing that, once you've found your nice sweet spot there, what we want to do next is focus on, again, on our breath. Now, if you have a breathing issue of some sort, you can continue to breathe out through the mouth, or maybe make a little bit of a peephole through your lips as you're breathing. Otherwise, you want to focus on what we call our ujjayi breath, or fire breathing breath. Now, if you hear me say a term that's not in English, they call that Sanskrit, which is essentially a yoga Indian dialect of terminology that we use to practice yoga. So ujjayi breath, you kind of almost want to pretend like you're breathing like a dragon, or even like Darth Vader. So again, we'll just sigh the breath out of our mouths, like once more. Good. And then from here, we're going to take a nice deep inhale, count to 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out through the nose, ujjayi breath, send the breath straight down towards your pelvis, exhale. Good, 3 more rounds just like that. Inhale. Exhale, straight through the nose, draw toward your pelvis. So imagine your breath going up and down like an elevator shaft. 2 more times, inhale. Through the nose, exhale. Actually, 2 more times at this time. Here we go. Inhale. Through the nose. Good. Last one. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Through the nose, exhale. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up the breath is so much, and why is it so important, is that in yoga it helps to create more space in your body, and it also creates more heat in your body as well. So this way, by creating more heat in your body, you can expand in some of these poses I'm about to show you here in the next little bit. It's also what's cool about that yoga technique of breath work that I just showed you. It also helps reduce stress. So whether you're having a not so good day at the office, or maybe you're feeling you're high and pumped up and you need to find some sort of sense of calm, just go to your breath. Just take a few moments, find your breath, stay calm, cool, and collected, and then things will always work out, regardless of the situation you were in. So before we get into some of our bigger yoga poses, we're just going to take a few general stretches. So some of you may have even done these stretches, whether you're back in your, maybe at physical education classes when you're back in elementary, middle school, or high school, or maybe you're currently, currently take classes at a gym or anything to that, or a studio of that nature. You've done some of these here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to do some general arm stretches. So you're going to take your right arm across, and then the left arm is going to hook right underneath. So you're kind of making like a cross motion action. And all you're going to do is you're going to take that left forearm and gently press it against the right arm. So you should feel a nice stretch going up here in the shoulder here. And as we're doing this, maintain your breath I showed you earlier, and also again engage your core and send the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Good. We're going to take that right arm up and overhead, and then lightly press down in the elbow region with the left hand, and then gently press down on that region. And again, you're not sinking down where you're curving the spine. You want to press the back of the head into the right forearm to help keep that nice, good posture going. Good, and we're going to do a nice little wrist stretch here. And your joint lines up with joint, so right wrist lines up with right shoulder. Good, we're going to do the same exact sequence as switching sides. So left arm hooks across, right arm goes underneath. And just putting just a little pressure on that tricep bicep area. Good, left arm comes up and overhead. So again, just lightly taking the back of the head into the left forearm, lightly pressing down into the left elbow region. Good, and then now sending the left arm out. And wrist lines up with joint, the shoulder joint. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of just stretch out the neck area a little bit. So all we're going to do is you're going to take your right hand up and overhead. So your right hand is touching your left ear, and then the left arm is going to kind of jet down a little bit. So kind of a little food for thought here. Keep this in the back of your head. Whenever we're holding any poses in yoga, 99 times out of 100, you never want the shoulders up by your ears. You want to relax the shoulders, but extend energy through your fingertips. So all you're doing here with this left arm is you're reaching energy, sending some strength through your fingertips, but relaxing the shoulder down and away from your ears. So from here, lengthening through the left fingertips, lengthening through the crown of your head up, and on your inhale. And then on your exhale, lightly dip out to the right. So you're lightly putting a little bit of pressure on the left side of your head, so your gaze is looking forward, not down to the ground or up to the ceiling, but your gaze is looking forward, and the right ear is moving towards the right shoulder. Good. On your next inhale, you're going to come up, bring your head back to neutral. And exhale, release the bind. And we're going to do the same thing, switching sides. So the left arm can go up and overhead. And then reaching the right arm, extending the right arm out. Relax the right shoulder down and away from the ear. Right fingertips extend down. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head up. And on the exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Good. Inhale, bring the head back to neutral. And exhale, release the bind. Before, and also just as a friendly thought or suggestion, for those of you who may be more an intermediate or advanced practitioner, many of these poses that I'm showing you here can be done with a mat as well. So if you would like to modify at home, and if you have a mat on hand, feel free to follow along with the mat as well, but obviously using a chair is fantastic too. So once again, either with a mat or a chair, either is fine during our practice here. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to kind of start, do a little leg stretching here. So extend the right leg out. And from here you want to try to melt your chest towards the right thigh. And from while we're doing this, we want to flex the right toes towards your kneecap, because what this will do is it'll activate your hamstrings a little bit more and protect your knee. So again, we're just taking the right leg a little bit out to the side, and we're going to take a nice deep breath, inhale as the arms go up. And then exhale, you're going to lengthen your body out, keeping your sit bones grounded on your seat and lengthening out and folding forward. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly move the body back up to neutral. Bring that right leg back underneath here, and then we're going to do the same thing left side. So the left leg extends out just slightly. On your next inhale, take the arms up and up. And exhale, lengthen out and fold. Good, and we're going to slowly walk the hands back up to your top thigh, bring the head back, and we're just going to start the breath out, lion's roar. Good, let it all out. Inhale, bring deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out once more. So anytime that you do need to sigh the breath out, feel free to do so. Obviously, if you can't keep the lips sealed, whenever you feel like you want to exhale without the lips, you can. Otherwise, again, try to keep the lips sealed to keep that heat in, so opening up more and expanding more. So before we move on, we're going to just do a couple extra things here in our seat. We're going to do a little bit of a seated twist. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to do a side demo here for you, so you can keep your seat, if your seat or mat positioned as it is, or if you'd like to join me, you're more than welcome to, but I'm just doing this for the example. So when we twist, anytime you twist, you never want to twist with your shoulders. You want to lead with your core. So your core isn't just isn't just your abdominals. It's imagine your core like a band. So that band consists of the low back, the obliques, and your abdominal muscles. So what we're going to do here first is you're going to take your left hand to the back part of your seat, or maybe the back part of your mat if you're using your mat at home. You're going to take the right hand to the outer edge of the left leg. So on your next inhale, you're going to lengthen up through the crown of the head, and again, knees over ankles. And on your exhale, you're going to gently twist, look over the left shoulder. So as you twist, you want to gently press into the left side of the leg with the right hand and look over the shoulder. And on every round of breath, you want to just gently go a little bit deeper in the pose. So as you're twisting, we're not trying to be like the Tasmanian devil here. We're merely just trying to get a nice little sense of openness here. And pushing down and away, make sure we have a nice good posture here. So pushing down with that left hand. Good. Inhale, bring the gaze back forward towards their knee area. And exhale, release the bind. We're going to do the same thing, just switching sides. So what we're going to do here is you're going to take the right hand to the back part of your chair. Good. So pressing down and away, left hand goes to the outer edge of the right leg. And your next inhale, lengthen up, nice and tall. And exhale, twist. Again, activating that core, so sucking that belly button towards the low back to activate the core. Again, twisting with the core, not the shoulders. Good. Inhale, bring the gaze back to neutral. And exhale, gently release. Now, before we move on here a little bit more, what we're going to do, we're just going to do a couple more things here. We're just going to focus on cat and cow pose. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is, so cat-cow pose generally, you could do this on all fours in a tabletop position on your mat. But in this case, we're going to do a modified version in our seats. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to just take a nice deep breath back, take a little bit of back bend here. So imagine like this is cow pose. And actually you're going to curl down, like arch your back like a cat. So you're going to kind of swivel the hands forward. Now if you're at home, you wouldn't want to swivel the arms like so. You keep the arms, the wrists stationary underneath your shoulders. But for the chair instance, we're going to kind of swivel the arms and kind of do a little bit of counteracting here. Inhale, gaze up to the ceiling, shoulder blades together. Exhale, push through elbows, hands swivel towards the area in front of you. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale through. Inhale. Exhale through. Good. Last one. Inhale, bring it through. Exhale out. Good, bring everything nice and smooth, nice and tall. Good, and shake it out. Good, kind of give yourself a little bit of a shoulder shrug here, kind of work all those kinks out. Good, sigh the breath out, a sha sound. Good, one more time, inhale. Exhale, let it out. Good. So from here, what we're going to do is if you're able to, we're going to kind of come up here and stand. And what I'd like you to do is we're going to kind of, you're going to be about a foot distance away from where you and your chair are. So what's going to happen is we're going to kind of focus on what we call half sun salutations. Okay, so half sun salutations essentially are an important part of our yoga practice. So we're going to break our sun salutations down bit by bit here. So what we're going to do is you'd be about, I would say, about a foot distance away from you and your chair. So we're going to do 3 rounds of these half sun salutations, and then we'll add on to our practice and our movement here. So what we're going to do from here is this. You're going to take a nice deep inhale. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and you're going to take the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, you're going to reach out and fold forward. Now, if you have options, option 1 is you can either grab onto the chair, sides of the chair here, or if you're extra flexible and you have open up hamstrings, you can touch the floor. And you can also bend the knees slightly if you would need to, if you do have tight hamstrings. Again, just melting the chest down. Good. And then from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to come up a nice halfway lift. So when we lift up halfway, we want to send our shoulder blades, these big bony things in your back right here. We want to shift those back towards the wall behind you, and then send the crown of the head forward. So the forward towards the front end of your mat or your chair. So it's not you're not doing like rounding here. You're shifting back, lengthening out, nice flat back. Fold forward as you exhale. I know that was a long tabletop position there, but it's all good. And again, one more time, pressing neck up. Inhale, nice and smooth. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. 2 more times, a little bit more of a touch or quicker pace. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, Ardha. Ardha means half. Fold forward again, exhale. On your next inhale, root to rise, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good, last one here. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands fold forward. Good. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, pressing all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Nicely done, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add, what we're going to do is move into what we call Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. So options here are this. A, we're going to add a pose called Downward Facing Dog into the mix here. So Downward Facing Dog, after you see me do this, if you've never done this before, with or without a chair, if it's too intense for you, continue on with the half sun salutations and work on your movement, your overall movement here. Otherwise, after we come up on a halfway position, we're going to fold forward and move into our down dog. So here we go, we're going to do 3 rounds of these, of Surya Namaskar A. So your next inhale, you're going to take your arms up and overhead. Good, exhale and fold forward. Good, inhale, Ardha, halfway lift, nice flat back. And on your exhale, what you're going to do is you're going to take your right foot back 1 big step, then your left foot back to meet the right. So your feet can be about, I would suggest, being about hip distance apart. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to grab onto both ends of the chair, and you're going to shift back. So you're going to press back. So what you want to do is you ideally want your hips to line up with your knees and ankles. And you're shifting back, kind of making almost, it looks like an inverted V shape almost. Good, so you're kind of pressing back, shifting back. So you should feel a nice hamstring stretch right in the back of the legs. Holding for a few breaths. And again, don't lose that ujjayi breath, that fire breathing breath. Good. Shifting back, bend the knees on your next inhale. And then exhale, walk, sit, jump to the top of your mat or towards the front end of your chair, staying low in Uttanasana. Uttanasana means standing forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward as you exhale. Root to rise, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Nice. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades back, neck long. And then exhale, downward dog. So the right leg's going to go back 1 big step. The left foot will meet the right. Pressing back, shift back. And see this time now when you make that V shape, if you can roll your triceps inward. So your triceps are these back part of your arm muscles. Try not to spin them out like so. Try to wrap them in, and that'll even be able to even send you back a little bit further back in your downward dog. Downward dog, the Sanskrit term for that is Adho Mukha Shavasana. Good. Bend the knees a lot on your inhale. Exhale, walk, step, jump to the top part of your mat or your chair. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, pressing all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Nicely done. So from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to add our 3rd option here. I'm going to add what we call a chaturanga. It's essentially kind of like, this is just an option. So if you've never practiced yoga before, I would highly suggest you just focusing predominantly on those half sun salutations, just with or without the downward dog. For my intermediate and advanced practitioners, if you would like to add this option in, you're more than welcome to do so. So what's going to happen is we'll all start together at the top of our mat, on the front lip of the chair. We'll all take our 3rd one here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, and after your inhale here, halfway lift. For those of you who feel comfortable and you just want to go to your downward facing dog, or just continue rolling through your half sun salutations, please stay where you are. Please go to that option now. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to find yourself into a plank position here. So again, you want to get a nice grip, side steps on here on your chair, and find a plank position with the chair. So engaging your core, sucking the navel towards your low back, finding a plank position. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move your chest and your torso towards the height of your elbows. And on your next inhale, curl the toes, send the chest through your upper arms. And on your exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. So we go from your height of a push-up position with the elbows, send the chest through your upper arms, called upward facing dog, and now back to downward facing dog, holding for 3 more breaths. Good. Bend the knees, line your inhale. Exhale, walk, step, hop to the front of your mats. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Root your eyes, pressing all the way up. And hands come to heart center. Good. If you need some water, go grab it. Now, at your time, anytime you feel like you need to take an extra rest, you rest. So there is no issues whatsoever, no judgment. We'll do 1 or 2 more seated stretches here, and then we'll do 1 more standing pose to give yourselves a rest. We'll do 1 or 2 more seated poses, and then, or sequences, I should say, and then we'll do a standing, and then we'll cool down with some nice stretching here. So what's going to happen is this. So the first thing we're going to do is, so again, make sure you have that nice, good posture going on right now. And what we're going to do is you're going to make sure you get the knees over the ankles. And what I want you to do is I want you to press through your palms, like so, okay? And then from here, you're going to take the palms up and overhead. And now what you want to do is keep pressing the palms up towards the ceiling and send the pinky toe, or not pinky toes, pinky fingers back to the wall behind you. So for those of you who are on the beginning aspect of your yoga practice, stay here. For those of you who are more intermediate advanced practitioners, I'm going to give you guys a solid option here. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to stand up nice and tall, keep pressing up to those palms, okay? And then maybe come onto the balls of your feet. So you're not on your tippy toes, but the balls of your feet, okay? And then what's going to happen is, and then maybe, and again, if your heels fall onto the floor, it's not an issue, no worries at all. But maybe if you want a little bit more of a balancing challenge here, what you're going to do is kind of come into like a baseball catcher position. So you're pressing up, sending the pinkies back, and holding. Hold for 3, 2, and if you did come into the squat, gently press back up, release the hand bind wherever you are, and give yourself a nice shake. Nicely done, everybody. Good. Sigh the breath out, let it all the way out. Good, good. Get a little bit of a seated twist in here. Twists are always nice to do. So let's all come to, and we're actually going to add a little bit of a lunging position here as well. So what I'd like you all to do is you're going to grab onto the back ends of your chair. So where these handrails here, you're going to grab onto those. Make sure, and your left end, so make sure you're sitting nice and even on both ends of your seat or your chair. From here, you're going to grab onto both ends of the chair, and on your next inhale, again, twisting with your core, you're going to lengthen to the crown of the head, and on your exhale, you're going to press hard into the right end of the chair and twist open. Good. Just gently press and twist. Good. Inhale, bring the gaze back to neutral. And exhale, gently release. So what we're going to do next is you're going to take your left butt cheek up your sit bone off the chair, and the right leg is going to over the right side of your seat is going to remain on that chair, on the seat. So the right knee is going to go, so will remain over the right ankle, and the left leg is going to kick back. So you're in a nice lunging position. So what I want you to do is, to make sure our hips are nice and square, you're going to take your right thumb to your right hip crease and lightly pull back on your hips to make them nice and even. We want to send nice solid energy through that leg. Now if you have a toe issue or anything like that, you can seal that back heel down if you would like to. Otherwise, try to be on the ball of the back foot. And we're just going to kind of go into like a little bit of a runner's lunge here. So good, just kind of reaching the fingers back to the wall, or I apologize, the heel behind you and holding. Good. Inhale. Take your fingers up to where the wall and the ceiling meets. You're making like a half of a letter X. Good. You can do this with or without a mat. Good. Your next inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come to heart, hands to hips. Back foot meets the front foot. And we're going to do the same thing, switching sides. So again, before we go to our twist first, but before we twist, make sure your sit bones are nice and even on your seat. And from here, what we're going to do is you're going to grab both ends of the chair. Again, make sure your posture is just sitting that crown of it up to the ceiling. And then you're going to, this time, you're going to press hard into the left side of your chair. And you're going to, again, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, and every inhale you lengthen up just a touch. So same type of scenario that we did earlier with our basic seated twist. And exhale, gently twist. Good. Inhale, bring the gaze back towards the front knee area. And exhale, release the bind. And now we're going to do the same thing. So left side, so the right. So if you need to use a chair, your right butt cheek is going to come off the seat. You get the right leg back. And you can do this for those of you with the mat at home. The second side. So we're going to move into a runner's lunge position. Again, left thumb to left hip crease. Gently bring that left hip back. This way the hips are square, and balance from here. Gaze just ahead. Reach those fingertips to the heel behind you. Don't forget to breathe. Smile too, it's only yoga. Good. Inhale, bring your next inhale, bring the fingers up. So kind of essentially like a half letter X with the wall and the ceiling meet. One breath, one motion. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come to heart. Hands to hips. Back foot meets the front foot, or chair if needed for balance. And swiveling around here. Good. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good. One more time. Inhale. Side out, release. Good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do one more standing pose today, and then we'll move into our cool down sequence here. So we're into what we call tree pose or vrikshasana. So vrikshasana means tree pose. So vrik, so it's like vrik with a V, shasana, vrikshasana, tree pose. So the first thing we're going to do here now, if you have options here, number one, you can for those of you who are beginning or intermediate practitioners, or even if you're advanced and have a balancing issue, feel free to use a wall for balance, or even perhaps your chair here. Maybe you have solid balance where you don't need a chair or a wall, but I'm going to basically show you a variation here with the chair. So what's going to happen is that you really want to root down energy through that left leg, okay? So the left leg here. And so you don't want that left hip to pop out. You want to hug that left hip in and really send a lot of your weight into that left foot. Now, for some of you at home, maybe some of you want to just bring that right heel up to where your right above the ankle is, okay? Maybe some of you would like to take your foot right below the kneecap, or maybe take it right above the kneecap. Now, I don't care where you place that foot as long as it's not square on the side of the knee, because that could, if you You could avoid, if you do place just the sole of your foot on the inside of your kneecap, it could lead to an injury here. So make sure wherever the foot is, it's fine. This is not as long as it's squaring the foot. So again, I'm going to hold here for balance, here just for example's sake. So you really want to press in through here, okay? And then maybe the hands stay here. Perhaps one arm comes up. And from here, we are going to gently release, bring the knee forward, hand to hip, and lower the leg down. Good, do the same thing second side here. Now one hip may be more open than the other, so it's just the way in which our bodies are. 90% of the human population has a hip that may be more open than the other. It's just the way we are. The other 10% is either you have good genetics or perhaps maybe you're a Cirque du Soleil performer. So again, nobody's perfect. Some people have more open shoulders and hips. Some people have more open hips and shoulders, or any part of the body for that matter. So here we go here. So second side. So this time really rooting down to that right leg. The left side can kind of kick out. Okay, again, so pointing that left knee out to the side. Again, you want to stay down here below the knee area or above it. Okay, maybe you use the chair for balance. And if you have a windy day, it's all good. Maybe both, one hand comes up, perhaps both. Good. Hold for 3, 2, and release the hands down. Knee comes forward and lowering down. Good. So we're just going to do a couple quick little bits of quick cool down stretches, and then we will move into our final rest, our Shavasana pose here. So before we go into that, we're going to kind of get into a nice little deep, like a little bit nice little hip opener stretch here. So what's going to happen is this: we're going to take your left knee is going to stand upright. It's going to be right over the left ankle, and the right leg is going to come up like so. Now, if for whatever reason you have had a hip surgery recently, or you have an issue with your leg where you cannot bring this leg up, or the leg is up like at a diagonal like this, I highly suggest you modify and take both legs out and just have the right leg come out on top of the left like so here, okay? If you don't, or you're flexible, or you've been practicing for a while, then I would move into this next pose I'm about to show you here, and we'll all lengthen, no matter what position you have the legs in, you'll lengthen out and fold forward the same exact way. So first things first, can you find that position, whether it's up like so, or down extended, extending out. You want to flex the right toes towards your kneecap again to protect the knee and open the hamstring up. Just like I mentioned at the very beginning of class, make sure the left knee is right over the left ankle. Make sure you have a nice good posture here. And your next inhale, you're going to take the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, lengthen the body out and fold forward. Holding for about 5 to 8 breaths. Your next inhale, bring the arms forward and up. And exhale, hands come to heart. Release the bind and shake it out. This next side is going to be the left side, and what I'll do is I'm going to do a side demo here on this side so you can get all angles here. So from here, again, the left leg will come up, okay, or left leg on top of right. Flex the toes no matter where they are. Check everything, make sure nice and even balanced. And you may feel more comfortable when you are doing this seated to sit closer to the edge of your chair. Not on a very, very lip, but relatively close. So what you're going to do is, again, flex the toes. So you're lengthening the crown of the head up. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, lengthen out and fold forward. So notice how there's really not a rounding in my spine. I'm lengthening out and pulling. And again, one hip is going to be more open than the other in many cases. 5 to 8 breaths. Good. Next inhale, send the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, and we're going to lower that leg down. Good. Kind of roll the shoulders out a little bit. Good. And just kind of go back, kind of drop it, kind of really quick, kind of go to our back to our shoulder stretches and wrist stretches. So right arm across, left arm underneath. And right arm up and overhead. Form back into the back of the head, pressing gently. Wrist comes out. Good. Left arm across this time, so switching arms. Right arm underneath, lightly pressing into that right tricep area, or bicep area too. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Left arm up and overhead. Good posture. Lightly pressing down the elbow on the left elbow. Good. Right wrist extends. Good. Kind of get a nice little wrist roll here. Interlace the hands. Roll wrists one way. Then the other. Good. Right ankle counterclockwise. Extend the leg out. And counterclockwise. And do the same thing, switch sides. Clockwise. And counterclockwise. Good, placing the knees over ankles. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, just let it out. Nice seated forward fold. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to be moving into our final rest or Shavasana pose. So for the next couple of minutes, we'll be kind of in our final rest here. So what that means is you're going to kind of close the eyes and just kind of zen everything out. So for those of you who are at home, or for those of you at home that may have a mat, you can either lie on your backs, like pretend like you're trying to essentially take like a nap, or they call it corpse pose. You can do that. You can also take legs up the wall. For those of you who know how to properly hold Viparita Karani, you may go ahead and do that. Third option again here is sitting up nice and tall like so, seated on the floor on a prop in a meditative state, or like so as I'm doing here. If you do have another chair at home and you'd like to place your feet and lift your heels, place the heels on the lip of another chair, you can do that as well. But before we do that, we're just going to just give yourselves a few moments to kind of get yourself situated to whatever option you'd like to go into. a few seconds behind me here. We'll just go on with the breath here. You can join us whenever you're ready at home. On the side of the breath out, nice and smooth. Good. Inhale. Exhale, side out. And just relax in the face, jaw, shoulders, fingers, toes, and move into your Shavasana. Begin to increase your breath from here. Maybe give a little bit of movement, maybe to your thumbs come across the fingertips, wiggling the toes. Maybe shrug the shoulders. And for those of you who were lying on your backs at home, or maybe took the legs up the wall, whenever you're ready, take the arms up and overhead. You kind of reach the arms back like a morning stretch. For those of you who are seated, you can take the arms up and overhead. Inhale. For those of you who are seated, exhale. Hands come to heart center. You can place the hands in your lap. For those of you who are lying your backs at home or took the legs up the wall, hug knees into chest. Rock from side to side, eventually falling over gently to either the left or the right side of your mat. Pause here for a few moments. Try to keep the eyes closed. If it feels weird or awkward to keep the eyes closed, you can keep them open. And from here, we'll come into a nice seated position. Bring our hands, come to heart center. Thank you all for allowing me to lead your practice today. You all did a phenomenal job. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Namaste.